We're late, but we're back. This is the Plug Podcast. I am Bushy. That is Metal Mike. This is music and more. This is the more portion. This is full force football. We weren't here last week, but life gets in the way of living. That's how it happens. Metal Mike, how are you?
Doing all right, man. Busy being Metal Mike. It's just a full-time job these days, dude. Even when I'm not doing the radio thing, that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because so much so we didn't really get to make our predictions for last weekend, which sucked. And then I got to see some of the games, but not all of them. And you know how it is, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, the first week we made a lot of predictions. Of course, it was Super Wild Card weekend. I did not do well. I think two of my teams won that I picked. Three of them did. But I gotta say, man, it's fucking infuriating because I'm gonna speak on this first, and then I'm gonna let you have yours because I kind of knew how that one was going to go, and I think you did too.
Yeah, I wasn't really that upset. I mean,
I was furious. I was
don't get me
fucking
the
furious.
only I did get a little mad because I kind of felt like the refs were there was that one series where dude, the Bills are a really good team. They don't need any help. And I felt some of the calls that the Steelers were getting. And I'm not one of those guys because I understand bad calls are going to happen in a game. Some of them are going to go your team's way, and some of them they're not, but this was just
Especially this day and age, it's always bad calls.
yeah, but man, I was just like, there was like fucking, I don't know, there was a whole fucking drive and of course, the Bills scored on. And I mean, considering the fact that we didn't have our best player on the team, TJ Watt playing, our fucking defense has been decimated by fucking injuries. Honestly, I thought the Steelers played pretty well considering they were playing in a hostile environment against a superior team, man. Like, I was kind of proud of them, believe it or not. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take what do they call that? A symbolic victory or anything. No, I mean, we lost, but people have to understand something. I didn't think the Steelers were going to
Yes,
get
let's
in the
not be
playoffs
Nikki Haley where
anyway.
you're losing every week and give a victory speeches. We're not doing that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't think the Steelers, I mean, I don't know. The Steelers are really in a weird flux. I mean, I still think they got a really good defense. I think they got some good positional players, some skilled players. I think though they got some work to do in the offseason, and this is Omar Khan's second season as general manager. He's always been our kind of our economics cap guy, salary cap guy. They promoted and Kevin Colbert, as far as I'm concerned, Hall of Famer, general manager. He'll get in the Hall of Fame just for his several first drafts for the Steelers alone. But I think in the last few years, he's kind of missed a few times. It was more like he was drafting for need instead of, and the Steelers have never drafted that way. They've always been like, we're going to get the best player on the board, no matter what position they play. And that's the player they grab. So they were fucking, I mean, I know we hadn't had a lot of Super Bowl success between Terry Bradshaw and Big Ben, but dude, we still had a lot of playoff success, especially once Bill Cowher became our coach. I mean, when we had Greg Lloyd and all them guys on, I mean, so for me, I think that the moves are going to make. I like the fact that Coach Tomlin's already flat out said he's going to hire an OC from outside the organization. They need a 2024 or 2025 offense. They need to get more.
Need some fresh blood up in there.
Yes. Also, I think they need to beef up the offensive line. James Daniels has got to go. Chukwukaforov's got to fucking go, and I think his days are numbered anyway. And the fucking center who can't snap a ball to fucking save his life needs to go. So there's still some work there. And then, of course, with the QB position, I know some people are really down on Kenny. I'm not ready to quite give up on Kenny just yet. I mean, there's some things he does I like. There's some things he does I don't like. I mean, he does seem to abandon the pocket too quick. It's like, look, dude, I know your O-line's kind of shitty, but damn, dude. Like Mason Rudolph was taking some shots down the field. And here's the thing where I was always like, at least I would like Mason to come back. If nothing more, I think he's a good quality backup. And a lot of people are like, well, how did he play so well? And he just flat out said, he goes, because I watched Big Ben prepare for how many years? And I always prepared as if I was the starter. Well, man, it fucking showed because that dude played his ass off, I thought. So I don't know. They're also talking about if they can bring Mason back, they're wanting to get another quarterback in there too to give Kenny some competition. And I think they should. I mean, nobody should get the fucking gig just because you're a first round draft pick. I mean, there's been many a time where the Steelers have, James Harrison was an undrafted free agent. Fucking Willie Parker. You get whoever makes your team better. I don't draft position be fucking damned, man. You get whoever you got to fucking earn that shit, man. And
I feel that because I got to tell you, look, Dallas is undefeated at home in 16 games. How the fuck do you claw it out and get a home game and then just get embarrassed on a national stage?
That's what blew me away about it, Bush. And I'm going to get to your boys in a minute, but I just wanted to finish one thing. I'm still fairly optimistic about the future of the Steelers, even though they play in a really tough conference and a really tough division. I mean, when you're in the same division as Joe Burrow and fucking Deshaun Watson, which I know Watson wasn't that great this year, but I still think he's a talented quarterback. And then you got fucking Lamar Jackson to deal with too, which I mean, the Steelers kind of have his number anyway, but be that as it may, it's not going to be easy. So it should be interesting to see what Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin do. I know a lot of some people wanted to get rid of Mike Tomlin. And I feel it too, because I love Coach Tomlin, but once again, one and done in the playoffs. We haven't had a playoff victory since 2016, 2017, something like that. It's been a long time, man. And I'm thinking that I just feel like we're like one of those gerbils on a wheel. Like we're not getting any worse, but we're not really getting any better. And that's part of the problem with the Steelers, though. They play so much for pride. They're never going to have a losing season. So therefore, they're always going to have that middle draft, which you can still get some good players. But there are times where I'm like, man, I wish you'd suck for a year or two so we get some higher draft picks, man. Because especially if you're wanting to find your next franchise quarterback. But, at the end of the day, people have to remember Kevin Colbert actually graded Mason Rudolph. He got him in the third round as a first round quarterback. So he could be the guy. I don't think he is. Now that's not a put down on him. I like Mason. And I mean, he kind of saved the fucking season, really. Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, fucking saved the Steelers season because we was about to have a losing record with Trubisky at the helm. That guy, he's got to go too, man. Yeah. I feel bad for the guy because it's you look at him and you're like, man, he should have all the physical gifts. And I think he does. Like he's got a fucking rocket for him. Just doesn't have it in here, man. He just, I've heard of gunslingers, dude, but when you're throwing it in like quadruple fucking coverage, that's just crazy, man. And I just don't. I don't know. It blows my mind that the Bears took him when Patrick Mahomes was still available. That's all I'm going to say, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
How different would the Bears again, though, people have to realize though, no matter how great a quarterback is, and Mahomes is fucking awesome. It's times like, and I'm sure you agree with me, Bushy. They'll go, oh, well, that player was a bust. I'm like, well, was he really a bust or was the organization just not a good fit for him? Was what they were doing? Did they coach and game plan to his strengths and weaknesses?
Right.
I don't know if Chicago would. Now, I think Mahomes is a naturally gifted enough athlete that maybe it wouldn't have mattered. But when you got Andy Reid as your coach and Eric Bieniemy as your fucking OC, and let's be honest, man, this year the reason why the Chiefs have gone as far as they hasn't really been about their offense. It's been about their fucking defense. I mean, Spagnuolo has had those guys playing out their ass. They're the reason why. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Mahomes and the offense because now they're clicking in the playoffs too. But that fucking defense is for real, man. They're really good. Now,
I don't
Cowboys,
necessarily disagree, but
Bill was ecstatic that the Packers won, but we were both shocked that they won the way they did. I thought it was going to be a really close, kind of like what it was between the Packers and the Niners. That was the game I was expecting with your Cowboys.
No, I was expecting a blowout the other way.
I know you were. I know you were. But remember, I told you at the time, I'm like, dude, I don't think don't underestimate Green Bay. And, hey, let's give fucking the Coach LaFleur credit. God damn, he fucking had a perfect game plan. But it was almost like your defense. I don't know what happened, dude, but they just disappeared.
They weren't there. How the fuck do you go down 27?
You can't blame all this. You can't blame. Yeah, I know Dak did throw a pick six, right? He threw 2 picks.
Yeah, but he also threw for 400 yards. And this is what irritates me about this guy. And Jerry Jones is keeping fucking Mike McCarthy because he takes us 12-5 in the regular season. Great, Jerry. Talking to you. He takes us 12-5 in the regular season. He doesn't do anything to coach this team through the fucking playoffs. I have never seen a high caliber fucking Cowboys team that unprepared for someone to come into our house and just walk all over us.
It was embarrassing, man.
And for the defense, the defense never stepped up because in the second half, Dak and company did everything they could.
Yes.
To try and win.
That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of Cowboys. Oh, it's Dak. He can't win the play. Look, guys, I understand what you're trying to say.
No, it's fucking Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy.
But dude, yeah, you can't blame all that on Dak Prescott. You cannot. I mean, now granted, the pick six wasn't good, didn't help matters. Kind of like when Mason Rudolph threw a pick into the end zone. I'm like, oh, Mason, you're killing me. And boy, did we, because if we score on that drive, if we score a touchdown instead of that pick, it wasn't a pick six, but still, it was like it was critical.
Yeah.
You cannot turn the ball over against good. But I mean, I just got to give Green Bay some credit though, man, because I thought, fuck, they even hung in there with the Niners. The Niners, man. And you got to be wondering about, okay, because Jordan Love's been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, motherfuckers are going to have, I know it's too soon to tell. And I don't want to jump to conclusions. But Green motherfucker, if they end up with another Hall of Fame quarterback in a row, but you got to remember, they took Jordan Love in the first round, and a lot of people thought they were insane when they did. Well, who the fuck is this guy, and why are they taking it? Even I question it when they had other positions that they needed to draft for. Well, maybe they knew something we fucking didn't, and they kind of did the same. But see, the thing is, there is a difference though. Some people want to compare it to Aaron. No, Aaron Rodgers fell to the Packers, and they'd have been fucking stupid if they didn't take. In fact, there was a bunch of other teams, kind of like Ben. Ben fell to the Steelers, dude. There is no way we should have got him.
Right.
And you don't fucking no, dude. You got a chance to get a guy like that, you grab him, man.
Yeah, these other teams that were looking at something, there was either something
I don't know if Jordan
or they needed another position filled.
Jordan Love, I don't even know if Jordan Love was a senior in college when they grabbed him. So it was kind of a reach. Now, if it pans out for him, hey, I will say this though, man, you got to give Green Bay credit. They seem to be quarterback gurus, something their rivals, the Bears, could learn. Y'all can draft defensive players and running backs, and they're amazing, but you motherfuckers can't draft quarterback to save your life, man. I'm sorry, I don't mean talk shit, Bears fans. I'm not a Bears hater, but I'm just saying, hold on, my pussy wants out. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Go on. Get the fuck out. Shut up. Getting on my nerves already.
But no, fucking we had no running game.
Dude, and I told you Pollard, at the time, I think that was gonna hurt. I thought that was gonna hurt.
Well, I knew it was gonna hurt him, and I agreed with you because I've been saying all season, why the fuck did we get rid of Zeke? Tony Pollard's an outside runner, throw the screen to him. He's not an up the gut fucking runner.
No.
And look, anytime they run him outside or through the screen, he got some yards. It's infuriating that they thought this guy was the guy. Get rid of fucking Pollard. Dan Quinn, I know he's done a lot of great things, for fucking Dallas. But when you come in that unfucking prepared and your defense looks that shabby when you're one of the top defenses in the fucking league, maybe it's time to, get your walking papers? Was he just hunting for a head coach position? Because if you ask
Well,
me, if you flub it on the final fucking game of the season like
well,
that,
he was. A lot of people were interested in interviewing him, but now with that game, it wasn't a good look. So I don't know if he's going to be I think Dan's a damn good defensive coordinator.
he is.
Bushy, I don't know what happened. And the problem is, man, there's so many fan bases that just get so impatient. And I'm talking about Cowboy fans too. I'm talking about a
Fuck
lot of
you.
them.
We
There are a lot
haven't
of them.
had a Super Bowl run since
No,
1996. I don't think that's impatience, sir. I'm almost, what, 96, 06, 16,
hear me
26. I'm
out
looking at
though.
almost 30
But who are you
years.
going to replace him with, Bushy?
Fuck if I know.
See what I'm saying now? And another thing, like with Mike McCarthy, hey, he deserves some criticism for sure. Because one of Bill's biggest criticisms is when McCarthy first started with the Packers, he was great, brilliant offensive coordinator, and he's still a good OC and a good. Has the and
Bill
can be a good
Belichick was
coach.
fucking ready to go to another team. I would have jumped on that like fucking
I
eyes
was
on shit.
shocked that Jerry didn't. I'm
I'd have
shocked that
jumped
Jerry
on that
didn't.
because I hate the
Has he been
Patriots.
hired
I
yet?
hate
Has
Tom.
anybody hired Bill? I know the Falcons are talking to him.
I know. I heard the Falcons were talking to him. I heard he was talking to a couple teams. And wherever he goes, if he's got any kind of a team there, because let's admit
Hey,
it.
I think the Falcons, man, they got a lot of young, good players,
Yeah.
dude. All they need's a quarterback. Bill could definitely turn that franchise around, I believe.
Yes, he could. I
I
think he
mean,
could have come into our fucking building
sure.
and turned things
Now,
around.
is it true that I what I read or heard was that a lot of the players kind of went to Mr. Jones and stood up for Coach Mike and Dan and was like, look, it's not their fault. It's our fault. We fucking failed the coaches. Please don't.
Probably, but come on. That's
I
what
mean,
a respectable player is going to do. Hey, man, it's us. It's us. It's us.
well, they were
Fuck that.
basically like,
Deron Bland led the league in fucking pick sixes. He was non-existent. My boy,
oh, dude,
my
no,
boy, fucking
you
Micah
guys shit the
Parsons. I
bed.
was like, where the fuck were you, dude? Not a single sack in that goddamn game.
Hey, dude,
Infuriated.
y'all shit the bed. I mean, I'm not gonna candy coat it. You did. You guys did. Your boys did. You have every right to be upset, dude. Trust me.
Oh, I'm
Trust me.
super upset because I told you this off mic, man. When we clinched the fucking NFC East, I was so sure that this team was going to do something, at
You
least
thought they
go
were
to
gonna
the
OD. Yeah.
conference, that I went and bought a stupid fucking hat. NFC East Division Championship hat. I don't own a single NFC East Division champ, nothing. Not a t-shirt, not a fucking koozie, nothing. This year I thought, man, these guys look really good. I'm gonna jump on that and be a Cowboys tar to say, look, they could go all the way. They're going at least to San Francisco. At least. And no, they have to be embarrassed and routed like a fucking high school football team. I've never been so disgusted in my life.
Oh, I'm sure. I was like, I told Bill, man, because it was weird because Bill was happy as Packer, but he was even in shock. I mean, we both were. We were like, whoa, I did not see like he said later, I was expecting more of what happened a week later with the Packers. And now I picked the Niners to win that game, but I did remember telling people, I'm like, hey, I think this Packer team's for fucking real, man. They're legit. They're good, man. You better look out. Do not sleep on the Green Bay Packers. I'm telling y'all next year, do not sleep on the Green Bay
No,
Packers.
they've got a squad coming up. They're fucking young. It's mostly rookies for Christ's sakes. They
Yeah,
got
so one of the youngest teams in the
yep.
NFL, man, and right there with the Steelers, I may add. And but I think the Packers are in better shape right now than Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
See, I can say that. I love the Steelers, but I'm a real. It's like, look, when I picked Pittsburgh, I was saying my heart, in my head, guys, I knew Buffalo was going to win. So if y'all want to say some shit or make, that's cool, dude. Whatever,
The Detroit game, Rams game was probably the best
that was a
game of the
good game,
weekend.
man. That
That
was
was
a
the
good
best game of the
game. That was
weekend.
a damn good game. And I was pulling for Detroit,
Me
well, for
too.
two reasons. One, Rams used to be in LA. They were my NFC team for a long time because they moved there to LA. My original NFC team was the Arizona Cardinals when they were the St. Louis Football Cardinals. And what's funny is I really unfairly misjudged Mr. Bill Bidwell because I was mad as a kid. How can you, fuck you and fuck, even though really it was the St. Louis city that wouldn't build him a stadium And when he left, man, they had done a documentary about football in St. Louis, ironically, because it was right around the time that Kroenke was being all shady with the Rams. And they showed this old film footage of when he did his farewell press conference and he started crying. And I never knew that. If I'd known that, I would have looked at Mr. Bidwell in a different light, you know. Like he was really upset. He really didn't want to leave St. Louis, man. And that bothers me because as a little guy, that was my NFC. That was my home team, my NFC team, man. It's one reason why I had the animosity I had for the Cowboys, because we were all in the same division, you know.
Right, right.
And then, of course, the Steeler fan, you know, I mean, they were my AFC team. So, you know, I mean, now it's like, but fuck the Rams. And it's nothing against the players or even the coach. I think Coach McVay's a damn good coach, man. I mean, look what he's done. I mean, here's a guy who gave up the house to get Matthew Stafford, and yet he's still, because he drafts so well, hasn't had a first round pick and I don't know how long because of that draft he made, or that trade he made with Detroit. Detroit's loaded, by the way. Dan Campbell's done amazing things with them. But part of it was they took advantage of those picks, and they did what you're supposed to do when you make a deal. Because really, a trade like that is supposed to be mutually beneficial for both teams. And it was. The Rams got their Super Bowl. Fucking Detroit is a powerhouse now.
Yeah.
But the Rams are still competitive, man. I mean, I got to tip my hat to Coach McVay. With that being said, though, because Stan Kroenke's a fucking cocksucker, I hope the Rams fail miserably, man. They didn't. They made the playoffs. So, hey, kudos to them. But I got an extra grind now. I have to be honest, man. But what a good game. I mean,
Yeah, that was the best game of the weekend.
Oh, by far of that
You know?
weekend. But it wasn't even close, dude.
Yeah, because it was actually a close game. I mean, Tampa Bay
Right.
beat Philly. We knew Philly was shit.
But
Philly's
you know
been
what?
exposed 4 or 5 weeks ago.
But did we pick Tampa Bay to win? Or did we pick Philly? I thought we picked Philly, man.
We may have picked Philly.
But if you remember, I said look out for Tampa Bay, though. I did say, like, I didn't, because I said if Philly keeps playing the way, because man, want to talk about, hey, dude, could be worse. At least your team, yeah, they collapsed in their playoff appearance, but before that, they were playing really good football. The Eagles kind of whimpered and wiggled their way in there. Like, dude, they were terrible the last few weeks. Like,
Yeah. All December. They didn't win a game in December.
Dude, they didn't even look like the same team.
No.
They didn't play like the same. I mean, you want to talk about a fucking monumental collapse, dude. Like, what the fuck happened there?
It is a beautiful thing to see.
And it's so bad. Jason Kelsey's like, fuck this. I'm retiring.
Yeah,
like,
I'm out.
That's bad, dude. Like, I'm like, fuck, man. But yeah, dude, I don't know what to tell you about your Cowboys, man. I don't know, because part of me is like, well, maybe he should go. I mean, Bill's very critical of McCarthy because his biggest criticism of McCarthy, and goddamn it, Bill, you're right. The guy don't make any in-game adjustments. He doesn't. If something's not working, sometimes you got to, and I'll tell you what, I feel that way about Mike Tomlin sometimes. I love you, Coach T, but sometimes, man, you need to, if something's clearly not working, you need to try other things. Now, I've heard some people say, well, he should get rid of his defensive coordinator. I'm like, why? I mean, because that's one thing that impressed me about the Steelers this year. Their rookie class all played really well. I think Omar Khan nailed the draft, this past draft, man. I can't wait to see what he's going to do next year. So, I'm never going to give up hope. The Steelers, I know people get tired of people like me saying, but they're one of the most stable franchises in the NFL because they don't fucking have knee-jerk reactions. They don't get rid of their coaches if they're struggling or having a bad season. Or even, and hey, you think we haven't had playoff collapses? What about that game against the Jaguars a few years ago? We should have mopped the floor with them, and they came in and embarrassed the fuck out of us at home, dude. So believe me, Bushy, I totally feel your pain. Like, I don't know what happened, man. Like Micah Parr, you should be the defensive player of the year, which I've got a rant and a meltdown I want to go off about that.
Well, let's hear it, because everything was looking like he should have been, but boy, he fell apart at the end of the season.
Yes, he did. Micah did. And
I mean, a lot of it was holding calls not getting called. I'll give him that, but the man fell apart at the end of the season.
Yes, he did. And here's the point. I mean, you know, um, I, I,
See, and you notice I've still got the star
all
behind
right.
me. I'm still still wearing the
Oh,
gear.
sure,
I
sure,
still have
dude. I'm,
hope
I'm
for the
not wearing
guy.
my Steelers gear because it's in the wash, but trust me, I bleed black and gold. So, um, Miles Garrett. Miles is a great football player.
Hmm.
Not taking anything away from him, man. But he ain't the fucking defensive player of the year. What a joke.
Right.
This pro football focus with their fucking predictive stats. Like they go from whatever they're doing in the first half and they extrapolate that. This ain't fucking baseball, guys. Okay. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm a stat guy.
They're
And
not playing
if you
100 and some
compare
games a
stats,
year.
I'm sorry, TJ Watt, AFC defensive player of the week. No, he was the NFL player, defensive player. Peter King, I have all the respect for you in the world, but you're fucked, dude. He even said the reason why he picked fucking,
Over Bosa, because Nick Bosa, I mean, fuck
Bosa,
49ers, but he's a beast.
Parsons, the guy from Crosby from and hey, Miles is a great player. He's definitely in the mention, in that club. Okay, I'm not taking anything away from Miles Garrett, Browns fans. He's fucking awesome. I understand that, but they're like, well, he won because he was on the number one defense in the NFL. Well, this wasn't the best defensive team of the year award. It was defensive player of the year. Okay. And I'm sorry, but TJ Watt's stats are better than Miles Garrett. That's a fact. Look it up. Fuck Pro Football Focus. I think they're a fucking joke, bunch of fucking nerds with their analytic bullshit. Okay. I mean, I'm not totally going to piss on
I'm going to
analytics.
agree with you, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to agree with you while I'm disagreeing with you because Dak Prescott was arguably the best quarterback in the NFL this year. He threw the most touchdowns, had the least amount of
Yeah.
interceptions. Everything on paper looks like the best fucking quarterback in the NFL and probably should have been MVP. But when it matters, it didn't get done. And it's infuriating for me to say that because the man threw for over 400 fucking yards in a game they got demolished in. And what, 4 touchdowns? And he had to do that in the second fucking half because God knows he wasn't doing shit in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, look,
It's outrageous.
Dak had some issues in that game too. I'm not saying he's blameless, but this shit of, hey, let's blame it all on Dak. You can't do that on this one, guys. The whole team fucking shit the bed.
Yeah, that was
And
a
Dak, at least he
that was a
kind of
team
did
effort. That was a team loss
he
for
kind
sure.
of did what Big Ben did his last playoff game. Or no, not his last play, because the last playoff games when we got destroyed by the Chiefs and we really had no business being there. It was embarrassing. But when Baker Mayfield and the Browns came into town and number one, they fucking botch snap. The Browns grab it, throw it run it in the end zone. It was just one of those games where we were fucked from word go. Kind of like when the Broncos played the Seahawks and they botched the ball over fucking botch snap over Peyton's head. And it was just all downhill. The only difference is in that second half, man, Big Ben was fucking playing his ass off, and we almost came back and won that game. And that's kind of what Dak did with this game. Like he really tried, man. He tried his
But didn't
best.
your defense step up?
No, our defense was terrible in that game. Baker Mayfield and the offense had their way. I'm talking about that playoff game. They had
Oh,
their
okay.
way. They had their
Okay.
way with the Steelers. It was embarrassing, dude. Now, with that being said, I said to everybody, man, don't underestimate the Buccaneers, man. Now, that being said, though, they played a pretty good game, really, but they just weren't on the
What are we
Lions
talking about? Because
level.
we're still in Super
Oh,
Wild
yeah.
Card
Okay.
weekend.
I'm
We're
sorry.
still recapping.
I'm
So let's
sorry,
get
but
through
yeah.
this. Texans blew out the Browns. I didn't see that coming.
Hot damn, I didn't see that coming. I
I
picked the
was really
Browns to
hoping the
win that
Brownies would
game.
do something. I really was.
What I mean, but again, what happened to that Avon defense, dude? I mean, you got a rookie quarterback, and don't get me wrong, that kid's man, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, oh, holy shit. I mean, the Texans have got to be one of the biggest surprise. I mean, I figured they were going to be better because again, that fucking trade they made with Cleveland, they got a plethora of draft picks. Well, holy fuck,
Yeah.
did they draft their ass off? I mean, in the first round, they got CJ Stroud and I can't remember his name, but that amazing defensive player. Because that's another thing. The guy who plays for the Browns, that Adrian Hutchinson, or whatever, he's fucking a monster too. And he played for University of Michigan. So, yeah, dude, the fucking
Let's
you got to give the Texans credit. I mean, holy shit, did they whip that?
they came out and they played, man. That to me, that was
dude. I was expecting a closer game. Now, yeah, I picked the Browns to win, but again, that was kind of a blowout, man. And where the fuck was the defensive player of the year?
45-14.
Where was your vaunted defensive player of the year? Where was that defense, man? Like, as an AFC North fucking guy, I was a bit disappointed, man. I'm like, come on, Brownies, what the fuck, man?
It's like every game that weekend was a blowout. Green Bay over Dallas 48-32. Yeah, that score may not reflect a blowout, but it was a fucking blowout because it was 20
it was kind of like with the Browns and the Steelers. Big Ben did his best to get back in the game, man. But I'm telling you, man, we got our ass kicked in that game.
Oh, yeah. Did we move on to the Chiefs, Dolphins? I'm pretty sure we both said the Chiefs.
We did.
26-7 blowout. In Buffalo, I picked Buffalo. You picked Steelers, even though you knew Buffalo was going to win. And that was a blowout, 31-17. I mean, it's just those couple games that were such bullshit. But let's move into the divisional round because we didn't get a chance to talk about it because we were both busy. We had, shit going on. AFC, we had the Texans at the Ravens. I would have picked the Ravens because
I picked the Ravens to win.
Yeah.
You can ask Bill.
Chiefs, Buffalo. I picked Buffalo. We will talk about that game in a minute. San Francisco, Green Bay. I knew that Green Bay was tough, but I still picked San Francisco. But I did say watch fucking Green Bay. And Detroit, Tampa Bay. There was no doubt in my mind Detroit was going to win. All those games were really good. They were all good.
They were all really good and competitive football games,
except for the Ravens, Texans. I mean, the Texans.
Well, the first half was competitive.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, they were kind of giving the Ravens a hard time. And then the second half, man, fuck, they just blew up on them, man. So again, as far as I'm concerned, the Texans have nothing to be ashamed of, man. Even though they played, I mean, they got their ass kicked in that second half.
Yeah, my God, they went to the divisional round. They did more than fucking Dallas did, and that's the team built for a fucking Super Bowl. That's what's infuriating.
And you're talking about a first-tier head. If D'Amico Ryan don't get Coach of the Year, he fucking should, as far as I'm concerned.
It's going to be Andy Reid when Andy Reid wins the fucking Super Bowl again.
Well, hey, I'm not one of those guys that hates on the Chiefs or Andy Reid.
I hate Patrick Mahomes. And yeah, I'm going to start saying that because all you fuckheads, Tony Homo. I have such a sour taste in my mouth for that.
I was guilty of that for a long time.
And Patrick Mahomes, everyone thinks he's like this glory child. And I'm watching him play and it's like, dude, he has some lucky things he does. The one thing he does is really slick is this little sidearm pass he does.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. And I hate that fucking thing because it's nasty and you don't know where it's going. It's when I played baseball, I hated sidearm pitchers. When I watch football, I hate sidearm fucking throwers because it's hard to judge where that cocksucker is going. I'll give him that. This Buffalo game, look, I'm a diehard AFC Buffalo Bills fan. I've explained it before why. I spent a lot of years watching the Bills. It's hard not to be a fan. And Josh Allen and his Bills team was built to go to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, there were some questionable fucking things that happened in that game.
I didn't get to watch it because I got called in a fucking war.
There were some bullshit calls that happened during that game, but I'm here to tell you what. Kansas City made their little fucking comeback. They got some lucky calls. That fucking kicker for fucking Buffalo, once they were behind, because Buffalo was coming back to tie the game to send it to overtime. And I think in overtime in that stadium, Buffalo wins the game. How the fuck you kick right? This is the fucking playoffs. And we're not talking a 50, 60 fucking yarder. We're talking a 38, 45.
You're also talking about a team who historically, though, I sometimes think that franchise is cursed, dude. That's crazy.
They gotta be, because they went 4 years in a row and lose.
Dude, well, if you remember, they missed that field goal against the Giants when they lost their first Super Bowl. They should have won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Bills
against Dallas. They didn't have a chance against Dallas.
I mean, There's a lot, but even then, dude, yeah, Dallas was great. Yeah, blah, blah,
But
blah.
that wasn't
Give them their due.
I wasn't
But
a
the
Buffalo fan
Bills,
then.
yeah, but the Bills would shit the bed every fucking goddamn Super Bowl, dude. The only fucking game that was close was the one with the Giants. They got blown out, not just by Dallas, but who was
The
the other two? The
Redskins.
Redskins?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I mean, dude.
that's when the NFC East was not the NFC least. That's when the NFC East was a powerhouse of a
They
fucking.
were the NFC beast then.
Yeah, for real. I'd like to see that come back.
That'll never happen. Anyway, let's move
Calm
on.
your fucking tits there, Metal Mike.
We all
But
know the
yeah,
toughest.
like
We all
that
know what the
Buffalo
toughest
game,
division
I
in
was
football
so
is.
angry at that Buffalo game. Like, you think I was mad at the Dallas game? What saved Facebook from getting bombarded with my hatred was the Dallas game was being played while I was at work. Now, it was interesting because, like, during the regular week, I am short staffed all the time. I have my daughter and one other PCA, and I have myself, and then we have someone that's supposed to be on the shower team. You know, that's their whole job is to come in and give showers. I, I turn the games on. You know, I got men in there that want to watch fucking football. I turn the games on. I'm a diehard Dallas fan. So I'm watching this game and I am getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And one of the girls tried to say something, and I just cut this look like, you don't even watch fucking football. You shut your fucking mouth. You go find something to do. I didn't say that, but that was the look. She read it. She heard it. She understood. She's like, you're really that? I was like, I am so fucking mad right now. You don't even know. I was down 27-0. I was fucking furious.
Sometimes people just don't understand how important it is to you when your team, when your team wins or loses, and
Yeah,
especially
it's
loses like
it's
that.
it's
You
it's
take it.
weird because we're not playing, but man, I
Yeah.
was furious. So now this Buffalo game happens. Well, I'm at home watching the game, and I am like toe up from the flow up. So I don't even know if I've deleted them. I was like, I hope fucking Mahomes or Mahomo on his way home gets into a fucking car accident, ends his career.
Bushy.
I don't want him dead. I don't want him dead. And then I'm like, why are they not pelting these fucking faggots in the face with snowballs and ice balls and shit? Because, dude, I was that angry at how that game went because there were several questionable calls. And fuck Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, Chris Sinzak. I love you.
And
Go Royals.
people are only going to do that because he wins. It's the same thing with Tom Brady. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I like Patrick Mahomes a lot better than fucking Tom Brady. And I'll tell you why. Because at least when Mahomes loses, he goes to the middle of the field. He fucking shakes their hand. He takes his losses like a man. Brady is one of the sorest losers I've ever met. Like literally, he's fucking terrible. That's where Brady always pissed me off. It's like, take your loss
You're
like
a
a
fan
man,
of
dude.
sportsmanship, and I get that. But no, I was going to say I remember times Jordan losing and being that way. But no, Jordan never lost a fucking championship.
No, but no, he lost some playoff games before before the Bills became that
No, I'm
team.
talking about Michael Jordan,
That's what I'm saying.
basketball,
I
not
know.
Bills, Bulls.
I said Bulls, didn't I?
You said Bills.
Okay, the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, man. Like I mean, I remember that. Like in the beginning of his career,
Oh, you
he'd
mean
get in
when he
there,
didn't have the team around him? Phil
right?
Jackson came in. Yeah,
And not only that, but you got to give the Pistons, some of them teams, credit. They played the Bulls tough, man. They had their number for
well,
a
that
while.
was back in the 80s and 90s when basketball was basketball, not this pussy sport we have today where people think
Well,
LeBron James is 40 years old and the greatest player of all time because he got all these points. And it's like, well, he's been playing for 20 years. There's a reason basketball players in the 80s and 90s and the 70s and 60s retired after 15 seasons because they were beat the fuck up.
Same with football.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me they haven't pussified the game? Come on,
Oh,
man.
no, they absolutely have.
Yeah. To the point to where even I get irritated.
I will still give Brady credit because he was still taking a few hits. Now, he cried a lot.
All the time.
And
I've heard people say that about Mahomes, and I've noticed it too. There's a few times he'll cry or complain, but I will give him this: like when he got pissed when they did that offensive offsides or whatever penalty, and it cost the Chiefs the game. The Bills win that regular season game. Now he hugged or he did shake
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen's hand and
Yeah.
everything, but he went on the radio the next day and apologized to the Bills, to their fans, to the organization, and said, I don't want you don't act that way just because something doesn't go your way. He goes, I don't want little kids going, well, I'm going to be like you, Patrick. Because he goes, I'm aware of the fact that I'm a role model of some of these kids, and I don't want them doing that. Like, that was not cool, man.
Look,
It's one thing
sir,
to
I am
lose your
trying to hate Patrick Mahomes. Don't make
I'm,
me change my mind.
I'm just saying he did, dude. It kind of impressed me. I was like, guess what? You'd never see fucking Tom Brady do that in a billion
No,
fucking
not in
years.
a fucking gazillion years. Never.
And let's be honest, man.
That's
That's
why,
why I
maybe
always
that's
love.
why I have such a soft spot for Dak. 'Cause I know Dak's a quality quarterback.
Yeah.
I know he's a guy that could get it done. Could. I don't know if he will, but he could get it done. So could Romo. I still think Romo got taken out too early. But Dak is such a good guy off the fucking field. I get so pissed off people talking shit about him. And especially Patriots fans. It's like, man, fuck you. Fuck you. Your quarterback was on the field crying to the refs, literally tears running down his eyes, got caught in deflate gate. All these fucking
Oh yeah.
scandals out of fucking,
New
New
England.
England.
And I'm sorry, folks, New England fans. Don't get me wrong. Bill
Nobody
Belichick,
liked the
great
Patriots
coach.
until Brady started winning games. Who the
Bill
fuck
Bel
was a Patriots fans? Boston didn't even
well,
like the New England Patriots.
I
They were
won't
all
go
going
that
to New
far.
Jersey. I mean, New York. I mean, New
They
Jersey.
they they I've met some pretty faithful Patriot fans. I mean, when they weren't good, dude, but they were from Boston. They loved their team.
Got more
Uh,
respect for them if
but
they're
what's funny,
Celtics
like,
fans.
okay, the comedian Bill Burr, that
Yeah.
guy is a real New England Patriots fan because
Yeah.
he is going off about, like, he's
Well,
one
he's
that
a
wasn't.
diehard Boston guy.
Well, yeah, but he flat out said that a bunch of the younger Patriot, they're fucking spoiled. Oh, get Bill Belichick out of here. You better hope this Gerard Mayo guy gets it done, folks, because I'm here to tell. I'm not saying he won't, but of course, he also in his first press conference was kind of awkward. He was like fucking talking about racism, and people were like, "Huh?"
Oh, they got a woke coach. Okay, the Patriots organization is fucking done. Go
Yeah.
woke, go broke. We've seen it too many times. I'm sorry.
Yep. I
Sorry.
hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Yes,
Uh,
we're a little more right leaning. One of us more than the other. I don't want to throw Mike under any bus. He's a centrist. Me, I'm on the right, but I'm not.
well, it just depends.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm I'm
Yeah.
really am what you would call a libertarian. I'm very conservative about some issues and very liberal about others. It just depends
Well,
upon the
I've
issue.
decided I am 100% pro-abortion. I don't care when. Now I'll tell you why.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you why. The people that are going to be having all those abortions are the people I don't want in fucking power anyway. So we can weed out those goddamn progressive Democrats in 2 decades. Fuck them because they kill their own babies. Conservatives have babies. Fuck you. That's my political commentary for the day.
Jesus Christ, Bushy. All right, man. Wow. Wow. All right. Moving on. Fuck. Um,
Metal Mike, off Mike. Tell me how wrong I am.
yeah. Well, I don't really give a fuck one way
All
or
right.
the other.
So well, we just lost two of our listeners.
But no, all joking around aside, I think that um but he was just kind of going off about to Rich Eisen, because it's like, these guys, and I think even Steeler fans to a certain extent are spoiled, it's because and let's say, I know it's been a long time for you guys, but Cowboy, when you have a franchise that's had the kind of success over the years, the Cowboys, and now even the Patriots, you got to put them in there. You have to, regardless.
No,
Even though I
fuck
do
that.
believe,
No
even though I
current
do
Cowboys
believe
fan. It's the old guys who remember the Cowboys.
even though, even
Brady just
though,
retired a year ago.
even though where there's smoke, there's fire, folks. I mean, I'm sorry, but like when he said I couldn't tell those balls were deflated. My dad looked at the TV and said, "Tom, you handle those balls more than you handle your own cock. What are you talking about, dude? Like you didn't
Definitely more than
know."
he handled his wife, obviously.
Oh, shots fired. But yeah, like he cares. He'll just find a younger, hotter model.
Yeah, he'll
So,
be Leo DiCaprio, whatever.
look, dude, I mean, anyway. the thing about all that, and that's what I'm saying. At least with Kansas City, you don't see any real scandals. You don't see any weird shit. You
Andy
don't.
Reid's a quality fucking coach,
He's
dude.
a great coach, man.
The
I
year
love
that the
Coach
Eagles
Reid.
went to the Super Bowl with fucking Philly with Andy Reid under helm and Donovan McNabb
Donovan
out of
McNabb.
Syracuse University, who I followed because I live 70 miles north of Syracuse. Everyone's
And
a
you know what? The
Syracuse
Eagle
fan where I come
fans
from.
fucking treated them both like shit. Yeah, I'm saying it
And
right
they
now.
got exactly what they deserved.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
even though Terrell Owens helped lose that Super Bowl, I was happy to have him in Dallas, even though he stomped on my star, but I knew he got his ass kicked the second time he did it. And Terrell Owens, up until we got Dez Bryant, was the leading receiver for fucking Dallas. He was, he was putting up them numbers,
Mhm.
fucking football. Why do I get so mad about something I'm not involved in? Jesus.
I don't know, man.
So the Chiefs, yeah, they beat the Bills 27-24. Good game. Pissed me off. Good game. Lions, yeah, Ravens, yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talked
You
about
just
all
hate
that.
on Patrick because he wins.
He makes stupid commercials. Now next week, Metal Mike.
Whatever, dude. If that was Dak Prescott commercials, you'd think they were hilarious and you'd be all about them. Just stop.
No, I'd be pissed off at those two. I'd
Yeah,
rather
okay.
he did commercials like Cinderella did back in the day for that
Well,
fucking local
do you
restaurant.
know something about those? You remember the ones where Andy Reid's drawing mustaches on their face? That's
That one
actually
was,
based on real shit.
yeah, but that one's kind of funny.
It is funny. And
But I like Coach Reid. I mean,
I
that's
like
where
the
I'm
one where
so
he's like, tell
conflicted.
me more about it when with those nuggies, and you got Patrick like pulling them away.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say though is those are my favorite ones, are the ones with Coach Reid. But what happens is when they win a game, he draws mustaches on. But what people don't know, when they lose a game, he draws dicks on their faces when they're sleeping. True story.
That's fucking gorgeous.
So anytime I watch the Chiefs, and if they're fucking struggling or losing, I'll look at Bill and I'm like, oh man, Chiefs are gonna have a bunch of dicks on their fucking foreheads before the day's over, and Bill will just start laughing.
Oh, we
Kind of
need
like my
pictures
inside.
of that.
Oh, and did I tell you what my I might have done this. I think I did, and you can use it. Me and Bill came up with a new nickname for the Washington Commanders. I think I told you this.
God, tell me, because they should be the
Well,
Red
because they were the Redskins for
or the
the
football
longest
team.
time. And I
I'll
do
take the
know
football team.
well, they had toyed with the ideas of, there was a couple of them, and the logos even look cool. One was Washington Red Wolves, and I'm
Red
like, okay,
Wolves. Yeah.
that would have been kind of cool. The other one was Washington Warriors. I'm like, that would work and still have the Native American motif.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't go. They went with the Commanders. So because they were the Redskins, me and Bildo call them the Foreskin Commanders.
Yes, yes.
That is our nickname. And I got a gal. She's still a Rams fan. That's like her. What's the other team she likes? She likes the Rams and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are her AFC team. But her husband's a diehard Skin/Commanders fan. So I told her, I said, hey, tell
So
next
her
time.
husband's gay.
Yeah, actually, Ron's a good guy, but yeah, he's a masochist. I'll say that. I mean, God,
obviously he's getting pegged. I'm just saying.
But the funny thing is I told her, I was like, next time he wants to give you shit about liking either team, which he really has no room to talk, what if he does? Just tell him, hey, man, it's not my fault the Foreskin Commanders suck. And she just died laughing. So, anybody who, and I'm not even really a Washington hater, folks, but I just think it's a funny nickname.
I am, but that's because my mom and sister are Skins fans. Myself, now my pawpaw, my dad's dad never watched football. He's a baseball
Hey,
guy.
man, that Redskins Cowboys rivalry back in the day was
deep.
fucking for
And my
real, dude.
grandfather was a Cowboys fan from inception, so I'm sure his daughter being a Redskins fan was infuriating to him.
It's like the Steelers Browns, or the Steelers and the real Browns. Ravens. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The original Browns, the
Yeah.
Browns.
I mean, yeah, but the Ravens, but yeah,
I had that conversation with
kinda
my
like,
girlfriend's nephew.
the Chiefs and the Raiders hated each other's guts for years, man.
Yeah.
That shit runs deep. It's a real thing, man. So
The
I
thing
love
is,
I
I
love
think
the
it's
great rivalries.
I think it's us old heads that remember that those rivalries matter, because, like, for me, a Cowboys fan, the Cowboys Redskins games don't seem to mean as much. Now, maybe it's
That's because the Redskins are a terrible team.
oh
Dude.
yeah, I was going to say maybe it's because they just fallen so far.
I mean, yeah, what's a foreskin commander going to say to you, dude? They got nothing. I mean, their
Right.
team sucks, and they know it. If they ever get good again, though, oh, it'll come back.
Do you think it'll be like the old Joe Namath days? You know, Roger Staubach versus Namath. No, not Namath. Who was the fucking quarterback for the Redskins then? Because I remember they were getting their asses pounded, and it was his birthday. Theismann, right?
Well, there was Theismann in the early '80s. Um,
Maybe that's what it was, 70s, early 80s. And it was his birthday. And while they're sitting there getting their dicks pounded in the dirt at Texas Stadium in Irving, fucking Texas, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium starts singing happy birthday to him. That's the rivalry I want to see. You know, where the fans, they're fucking getting into fist fights in the damn stadium over this shit. Those are the rivalries I want to see. Anymore, it seems like it's Dallas Philly.
oh, big time. Well, because I mean, because let's be honest, now historically that rivalry's always been intense with all four teams.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Well,
that's
because
what makes a
division
great.
rivalries.
Yes, and I love division rivalries. Um, but right now the Giants are kind of dormant. The Redskins are totally fucking dormant.
Yeah.
And because of that, but yeah, I mean, it's still there between the Skins, or I mean the Eagles and the Cowboys, dude. It's still there. Like I feel it. It's
Oh, yeah.
palpable. It's like, hey, don't get it wrong. You think, like now Buffalo's the team to beat in the AFCs. You think they still don't fucking hate the Patriots?
Oh, I'm
Are you
sure.
kidding me, dude? Especially now with the dominance they've had for so long, to where now Buffalo's like, hey, we're the fucking team to beat
Yeah.
these bitches. You know, they
And they're
just
getting a
can't
new
get over that
stadium. That's
hump.
interesting.
They just can't get over that hump, man. Because I was pulling for them, man, because like, oh, the Steelers didn't get in and I didn't think they were. And the Bills never won one, so I'm going to pull for them.
I
And
was telling my
and it's
daughter,
nothing
look,
really even against Kansas City, because I'm not a KC hater. In fact, to be honest with you, out of the original American Football League teams, I would say the Chiefs are my favorite.
right.
Some people go, well, the Steelers were in the NFL, dipshit, before the merger. They were never in the AFC until they merged. Then
Yeah.
they moved the Browns, the Colts when they were in Baltimore, and the Browns and the Colts and the Steelers into the AFC. And they said they wanted to make sure that the Steelers got the AFC Central, so they would have the Bengals to contend with too. I mean, fucking Joe Brown flat out said, I didn't buy a team and start an AFL franchise just to stay in the AFL. He knew a merger was coming. He
Yeah.
knew it was all deliberate, because he wanted not just to have an axe to grind against Pittsburgh, but he wanted to get revenge against the Browns.
Yes. Yes. I was most upset about because like Buffalo's getting close to losing their window. You know, Dallas is getting close to losing their window because we're going to have to bring up another quarterback. Dak's 30 years old. We're getting close. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Buffalo, especially after Dallas took that shellacking, I had to switch over to my AFC team. And I
I
told
thought the
my
Bills were
daughter,
going to go further because they just fought and clawed their way to
yes,
get into the playoffs. And I thought, okay, this is it. And once again, man, I didn't really get to watch the game. I know it was a really close competitive game.
it was a good game.
It was, but I don't know, man. It's like, that's why I'm probably, I
I
don't know.
told my daughter, I said, look, if Buffalo gets to that big game and finally wins it, I'm going to throw a shout out to the sky and drink one. I'm going to slam one instead of just sipping on it for your grandfather for all the Buffalo games we sat there and watched. And me and him went to a fucking Dallas Cowboys Buffalo Bills game in 2008 in Orchard Park. He was a diehard Bills fan because he's from just
Bills
outside of
Mafia, man.
Buffalo.
I work
And
with the gal at work, and she's a big Bills fan, and she went back to town to see that game. So she was a little bummed out that they didn't
oh,
win,
I bet. Well,
because
you
she was
just
talking
let her
about
know
Josh
that I
Allen.
that I feel her fucking pain.
And I told her, I said, well, because she asked me what I thought of myself. I think Josh Allen's great. I said, to me, I'm going to call it. And I know everybody's like, oh, because you're a Steeler fan. No, it's because I watched Josh play. He's like Big Ben on steroids.
Yeah, he's a better runner. I mean, he's a big hulking dude. He's not as
He's
Portly
been, yeah,
as
he's
fucking
been
Big
on,
Ben.
yeah,
He's
been
he's
on
big, he's
steroids.
strong, but he's a little more athletic looking.
Yeah,
I
yes.
mean, I watched the dude the week prior run what, a 48-yard fucking touchdown run. The dude
Yeah, I
has
mean,
no fear.
yeah,
Infuriating.
yeah. I mean, dude, he's like, and that's,
I'm
see,
telling
I
you right
love,
now. Have you heard the or have you seen the conspiracy theory? We'll call it, because everyone keeps saying the NFL is scripted. I'm kind of starting to wonder. Um, the Super Bowl logo this year is red and purple. San
okay.
Francisco and fucking Ravens colors.
Oh,
And that Super Bowl logo has been out for a while.
well, I guess we'll just wait and see, won't we? Who,
Yeah.
because I'm telling you right now, I think those games could go either way. There's no give me. Anybody that thinks that the Ravens don't or the Chiefs don't have a shot at beating the Ravens, they got to, dude.
Well, let's get into that, because this week we're in a conference
Okay,
championship.
so you don't want to talk about just briefly Niners and Green Bay Packers. We both picked the Niners to win. I thought it was a good competitive game.
Yeah.
I know Mark Alden Taylor was nervous about the Packers. Packers made him nervous, man. And anytime Mark Alden Taylor's uncomfortable, I laugh. Sorry, Mark, but it is funny to me. I'm just kidding. Well, kind of. And then of course the Lions, man. I mean, I thought that game with the Bucks was actually a pretty darn good game, man. Bucks came to play. It wasn't
Yeah, that makes me
but
nervous for this week.
yeah, but I will say this about Detroit. Um, I'm kind of really pulling for them just because they've never won one.
Yep.
I would like to see them. It's going to be hard going into San Francisco and their
Yep.
house. That team, man. I mean, you got to give Coach fucking um, uh, Shanahan and fucking John Lynch, man, the general manager, all the credit in the world. They have built an incredible team, and not just the team, but the coaching, the fundamentals. They block right. They do everything right. They tackle right. They block right. Their staff, they have all the fundamentals down, man. Okay.
See, I have to be honest. I don't watch a lot of San Francisco games because
I've only watched a few, but when I do, dude, I can't help but be impressed with the way they play
San
football, dude.
Francisco's a team that, because of the '90s and the Cowboys and that
I understand
rivalry
you hate
with
them. I
Dallas,
get it. I get it.
I don't
dude.
watch them fuckers. I really get all my fucking San Francisco 49ers knowledge from Mark Alden Taylor and Jerry Supe, which I'm sorry, that's probably, shitty information, because Mark's so wishy-washy when his team's playing. I'm all in. I'm fucking there for my team, and he's wishy-washy, you know. Or he'll try to do this whole reverse psychology thing. Oh, well, they're fucking it up, and it's like a minute and a half into the fucking game. So I don't know. I think Brock Purdy is not great. I think he's got a great team around him.
And
And
I would agree with you. Here's the thing, though, Bush. That's why I'm giving credit to fucking coaching, though. I mean, look, dude,
yes,
you took Mr. Irrelevant and have made him a successful starting quarterback in your system.
yes.
Keep in mind, they gave up a lot of picks to fucking get Trey Lance. Didn't pan out. That kind of move usually fucking sets a franchise back a couple years. San Francisco shrugged it off like it was nothing, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to give John Lynch and that whole fucking crew, like the
I'm gonna give
Steelers,
him the
apparently
credit,
the
and,
Steelers
and
are
I'm having
fucking,
a hard
the
time
Steelers
picking
are
this game.
interviewing the Steelers are actually interviewing some of their staff, not the offensive coordinator, because technically Shanahan is the OC, but like their fucking passing coach and their quarterback. Hey man, cool. Let's bring some of that to the Steelers, because the Steelers have lost some of their fucking fundamentals. They don't block that well anymore. Ever since Russ Grimm was no longer their fucking, O-line coach, they've missed a step, dude. Like, the tackling sometimes is suspect. Like they need a motherfucker to come in there and go, look, motherfuckers, this is how you block. This is how you tackle, and I think that, yeah, so I got to give the Niners all the credit in the world. Like, I'm not a Niners fan, but when I do watch them play football, man, they do everything right, dude. And they're a hard team to beat. I'm not saying it's impossible, but they're a hard team to beat. Now, I know the Ravens kind of beat the bricks off of them the last time they played them. In fact, I don't know. Did
Well, no,
Detroit and the Niners play this year though? I don't
Detroit and did they play?
in the regular season. I don't think
Hold
they
on a
did.
second. Hold on.
So with all that being said, my heart says the Lions because they've never won. You know, I mean, let's be honest. You want to talk about a long suffering fucking franchise. I mean, their fans, holy fuck, man. The Lions haven't been NFL relevant since way before the Super Bowl era when they had
I was
Bobby
going to
Lane
say, what is it, like
quarterback.
60 years or something?
Yeah, the 50s. I mean, they were like the one of the elite franchises, just like the Browns. You know, in fact, they even said it's the curse of Bobby Lane because they traded him to Pittsburgh. See,
This is what Detroit needs to do. They need to quit fucking around and they need to grab on to this other underdog out of Detroit who just blew the fuck up and accomplished something. And when they're running out onto the field, whether it's at home or going into San Francisco, Eminem Lose Yourself needs to be bumping on the speakers.
they probably will be.
That speaks to fucking Detroit in a way that nothing else will.
You
No
know,
other
he was at
song,
their.
no other
He's
music.
been at their playoff games. He's been at every game, man.
I know it. That motherfucker needs to be on the mic up in the booth, rapping over his own track. Get those guys jacked. Because look, Jared Goff, I agree with that fucking head coach when he handed him the ball and said, "You do belong in Detroit." When they beat fucking Matt Stafford, because that was the whole fucking storyline was Matt Stafford coming back to Detroit after winning a Super Bowl, after not winning a Super Bowl with Detroit. You know, when he had Megatron and all these guys, it's like, look, play Eminem, Lose Yourself, get your guys pumped up because we know all you young kids are listening to fucking hip hop anyway. So listen to some good fucking hip hop, get yourself jacked, and do me a favor, shut Mark Taylor up. Jerry, I'm sorry you have to be involved in that, but you're going to have to shut
And
your.
Brian Davis is a Niners fan as well.
Oh, Davis is too. Damn,
Oh
Brian.
well, he lives there, dude. He lives in the Bay Area. I mean, fuck, he's been
Yeah, it
there.
was, and so does Bill Wang, but I don't think he likes football.
Oh,
Bill
he
Wang does it.
does. Yeah,
Yeah,
he does. You know what his teams are? Boston teams, because he's originally from Boston. He's all
yeah,
about the Patriots.
yeah, gay. That's right.
A Cowboy fan just said another dude's team is gay. That's funny. Anyway,
So yeah, I'm hoping and praying Detroit, and I'm gonna go with Detroit. I'm gonna say Detroit gets the upset in that game.
oh, I mean, hey, it would be amazing. Like I said, my heart says Detroit, but my head says San Fran, man.
Yeah, the numbers say San Francisco, but
I mean, fuck, dude. But I think it's going to be a great game.
well,
I
here's my question: would it
and
be
I also
more
think this
enjoyable for the Niners to lose in the conference championship or the Super Bowl?
conference championship.
Exactly. So fuck San Francisco. I'm gonna stick my neck out and say Detroit.
Um,
The other
I'm
game I think is a little bit tougher.
I already picked my guy, my team, and there's several reasons for it. I mean, I know the Ravens, they appear unstoppable and blah 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 blah. But you know what? And yeah, Lamar Jackson finally had a playoff victory. Good for him. I don't know. Has he ever won any other playoff games? Ravens are usually like one and done, I think, with him. I
I
could
know
be
they
wrong,
hadn't won a home playoff victory at all.
but I gotta go with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, baby. I think the Chiefs are gonna I think they're gonna fuck it, do it again, man. I really do. And also I don't want the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl because I don't want them winning another one. That's my selfish Steeler. I don't know. It's I'm torn because part of me wants the Ravens to do well, like, hey, like I've said before, represent the AFC North. But then there's that petty side of me. It's like, no, fuck that, you know. But I think that Chiefs are gonna fucking man, they got a horseshoe up their ass for one thing, man. It just seems like things.
But yeah, the refs love them.
Yeah, well, dude, let's be honest. When you're a team like that,
Mahomo is the new Brady. He's going to get the call every time.
all the NFL darling quarterbacks get the call.
Well, who are the
Oh,
other darlings, please?
in the NFL right now, I would say
Mahomo.
Yeah, Mahomes.
Oh yeah, it's not so nice when it's somebody you kind of like.
Hey man,
I'm glad to be able to actually use it.
I recanted that. I did do it to drive my friends who were Cowboy fans crazy. I thank the football gods that I had a Dallas, Cowboys quarterback whose last name rhymed with Homo. But when I seen that dude break his ribs and play with a punctured lung and still went out there and gave it his all, I was like, I ain't making fun of Tony Romo ever again.
Still win the
I never
game.
did. Yeah, and I never did after that. I mean, that's fucking heart. That's guts.
That's why I was so
And
mad
to
they
be
put
honest with you, I
Dak in.
never really hated Tony because he's a Midwest guy, and
He
I
was
not.
what, Southern Illinois?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
and that's where I live.
So
So,
you should slap yourself for being that way anyway.
hey man, when you become a fucking cowboy, it's open season on you, dude.
I know because we are the most popular franchise in the world. And I hate that. Everyone
Even
thinks,
though
oh,
you don't fucking earn it no more.
not in almost 30 fucking years, that's for sure. Being a Dallas
Steelers are right up
Cowboys
there with the
fan,
Cowboys, though, man.
being a Cowboys fan anymore is much like being a Royals fan. Obviously, I'm gonna have to wait 30 years between fucking championships. The difference is the Cowboys give me hope every year. The Royals generally suck, and I
Yeah.
expect them to suck. And then they'll have 3 or 4 years, and if they're doing well for those 3 or 4 years, that's when you got to get that ring. So I'm around in another. Let's see, they won in 2015. So, what do I have? Like 24, 26 years
They
left.
won it in
Hope I'm alive.
1985 and
2015.
2015.
Yep.
Fuck both those years, especially
They
the
went
80.
in 2014
Fuck,
and lost.
fuck the 85 Royals.
Oh, yeah, because who they beat? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fucking Cardinals.
because the fucking call. But
Oh
you know
my.
what? Here's the thing that pissed me off about the Cardinals, though. You're gonna get bad calls. Sometimes you got to beat the refs and the umps and the other team.
Well,
And the
back then they didn't have the
Cardinals
instant replay the way
fucking
they do
they
now.
buckled like a fucking belt
Yep.
and gave up.
Yep.
And that's what happened. So you know what? All you Cardinal fans want to bitch about that call. Hey, I didn't like it either. We had a couple other fucked up calls, but y'all buckled like a fucking belt, man. You come back in the next game with your heads all down in the dugout. The fuck? No, what you do is you get pissed off, listen to some fucking Slayer, and go out there and kick some fucking ass. That's not what you guys did. You went down in game 6 with your fucking, or 7 or whatever it was, with your fucking heads down. Fucking shame.
They were rocking out to Duran Duran, and well, you saw
No
what
more like the
happened.
Cure, all feeling sorry for themselves. Fucking pussies. Anyway, fuck that World Series.
So yeah, Kansas City Ravens. There's a part of me that says Andy Reid is a winner, and he's going to coach that team.
And I mean, look, I again, as an AFC North guy, I'm a Steeler fan. I have all the respect in the world for Coach Harbaugh. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. And to be honest with you, Bushy, I think it could go either way. It's really hard to pick a winner in this one because, I mean, you got to give the Ravens credit. They have been playing some terrific football. When they got that new OC,
Number
he's
one
done
team in the
wonders with.
fucking league.
Yeah, he's done wonders with Lamar Jackson. Lamar's always been a potent quarterback, especially on the move. But now that he's got him playing more in the pocket and stuff, I mean, it's just made them even more multidimensional on offense. They still love to run the fuck out of the ball. And then you got that defense, man. I mean, yeah, they're going to be, and they're playing at home. They're going to be hard to beat.
However, I
How
think
many
this will be a
times have we
smash
seen in
mouth
the history
game.
of the NFL? Of course it is. How many times have we, and normally I'll give the Ravens the edge because the Chiefs, until this year, were kind of one of those fancy schmancy teams. They like to win pretty.
Yeah, well, they haven't been able to this year.
But
They've
it's
been
their
ugly all
defense
year.
that's got them in, kept them in the fucking league, kept them having a winning record, and literally helped them. I mean, without the defense, dude, I don't know. I mean, they kind of play in a weak division. Let's be honest. I mean, the Raiders, give me a fucking break. The Chargers have a lot of talent, but their coach was fucking horrible.
Yeah, we'll see
And
next year, the year after. Harbaugh going.
And the Broncos maybe had a moment where they could have maybe done something. But so playing in a pussy division, much like the Patriots did for most of their dynasty, it helps when you're playing a division that, that's one thing I've always taken pride with the Steelers is our
The
division's
Patriots
never been
walked away with how
pussy.
many rings? 7?
Yeah. Well, not and how many division titles? Because their division was a fucking joke. It was the AFC least. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
but I don't care about division titles. Like I said, the only reason I bought that stupid hat is because I thought Dallas
I
would
don't
do
either, dude,
something.
but you got to win your goddamn division
But they
to
went to the
fucking go all
dance.
the way. And they did that every year. They won their
Yeah.
division and gone all the way to the big game or at least went further deep in the playoffs. I mean, whatever else we can say about New England, they were, so I'm not going to say that they weren't a good team yes, they were. They had a great coach who was a brilliant fucking defensive coordinator that always took your greatest weapon away from you. Like, they were hard to beat. Some shady shit that went on there
I'm
with
having a
them.
hard time calling this game
I am too.
because the Ravens,
I just,
they were the number one team in the
but you
NFL.
know what, man? They went into Buffalo and beat Buffalo.
Yep.
I just think that and Spagnuolo's got that. I think this is gonna be a smash mouth football game. I think the Chiefs defense will be ready because they've been playing. I mean, they've been playing really
Yeah,
well
the
all year.
defense has been pretty
Like I
good.
said, they're the reason that the Kansas City Chiefs have gotten as far as they have.
Yeah,
Because
it's definitely not the
the
offense.
offense. No, because and it's not even, and again,
Because
I don't
even
want to give
Mahomes hasn't played great this year. And
no,
yes, I said Mahomes.
but my God.
Kelsey hasn't been playing great. I mean,
But dude, the
he's
wide
playing well
receivers dropping the passes all the
all
time.
the time.
Other than the fucking rookie Rasheem Rice, they have been fucking like Andy, guys. You got to give your boy a couple more weapons next year because Kelsey can't do it all. Now, Rasheem Rice is a rookie. He's played very well. But that's it, man. Kadarius Toney sucks. The other dude sucks. Valdez, whatever the fuck, the guy used to be with Green Bay, he sucks. I mean, and your quarterback can only do so much, man. And they had a lot of drop passes.
And he's not a running quarterback like fucking
no, I mean he can
Lamar
move.
Jackson, which is why I really thought the Buffalo was going to take it because Josh Allen could do something Mahomes can't, and that's scramble. And
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Mahomes can
distance.
run. Mahomes can move. Mahomes
But he can't put
things.
people down.
But no, yeah, he's not.
Allen
Josh
can knock
Allen
fuckers down and get a
well,
touchdown.
sure. Just like Big
Lamar
Ben
Jackson can do that too, or
and
he can
and look how many defensive players tried to get Ben down. It's like fucking took 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. Well, he was like Jerome the Bus Bettis. I mean, that's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, see, there you go. The bus, right? Yeah, and guess what?
Look, see, I remember 90s and early 2000s fucking Steelers football. It's hard to miss them.
Hey, man. This is why, Jerome, because some people are like, did you take Brad Pitt off him? Yeah, I fucking do. And he got in, and I'll tell you why he got in. Because most of his career with the Steelers, he played with subpar quarterback play. They knew they were going to run the ball. They stacked the fucking box on him, and they still couldn't stop him. Even the great Brian Urlacher got ran over like a bitch by the bus on our way to Super Bowl 40 in Chicago.
Why they called him the bus, because he would throw you right under him. Dude,
you know what his nickname was when he was a Ram? The Battering Ram. When he was a Ram, he was called the Battering Ram.
Yeah.
The bus nickname, though, actually goes back before Pittsburgh. That goes back to college when he was in Notre Dame. I did not know that until I seen him on, he appeared on Big Ben's podcast, Footballing, and he kind of talked about his whole career, and that's how that started.
Guess why I'm a Jerome Bettis fan?
Because he's fucking awesome?
Yeah, because I'm a Notre Dame fan.
I like Notre Dame. They're my college team.
Yeah. Fighting Irish, dude. I'm Irish, and I couldn't go anywhere else, man. Come on, Rudy come for fight. Notre Dame.
Yeah. But anyway, I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
You going Chiefs?
I'm going to go Chiefs, dude. I think so, man. I'm going to go Chiefs. Even though maybe that's the safe pick, I don't know if it really is though, because the Ravens are really, really good. And let's be honest, maybe I'm fucking jinxing the Chiefs because most of the teams I've picked to win have not won.
Yeah, yeah. My picks.
I
Have
picked
been
Cleveland
shitty.
to win.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they lost.
Same.
I picked Philly to win and they lost badly. So you know what? Hey man, maybe I'll just keep doing it. Go Chiefs.
I
Not that I really care. I mean, I don't have a horse in it really,
right.
or you know,
I'm gonna go Baltimore just so I can be just so that we have a little bit of fucking just so we have some diametrics in here.
sure.
Now I have a question. Do you think Taylor Swift being in the stands pumps up the fans more or less? Now look, let me explain something because I see a lot of people shitting on Taylor Swift, and it seems to be people from the right because of her political views. At least that's what the left is saying. Maybe I just don't like her crappy fucking pop music, but guess what? I didn't like her crappy fucking country music either. I
I'm not
will
a
say
fan.
there's an awful lot of fucking time being spent with the camera panning up to her, but I have to be pathetically objective here. When Tony Romo was banging Jessica Simpson, they kept panning to her in the fucking
Sure they
in the
did.
crowd.
There's the yeah, look, I don't care. How's that?
Exactly. It
I
doesn't
don't
make
care one way or the other. I
if
don't
she's
care. If they
having a
want to show
good
tape,
time.
yeah.
I mean, look,
But
Taylor Swift has 500 songs about breakups and what is it?
and there's gonna be
Trevor
another one about
Kelsey.
there's gonna
He's
be
going to
another
be
one about
another one.
Travis.
She
Yeah.
has Travis Kelsey, yeah. But she has zero songs about blowjobs. Guess what, Taylor? I know what your problem is. Or yeah, Taylor Swift. I know what your problem is. 500 songs about breakups, and what scumbags guys are, zero songs about sucking dick. We know what the problem is. Yeah, come at me, Kelsey. I'll tell you what the problem is. Or maybe you could set the record straight.
Oh, he's probably gonna blow. I bet but I was making jokes though, because there was a few times he was struggling. I was like, oh, she's jinxing him. I was joking with Bill. Because
Well, I
Bill, that's
said the
his,
same
you know,
shit about Jessica Simpson in the stadium. I
AFC.
love Jessica
I don't know if you
Simpson,
know
dude.
this about Bill, but Bill though, that's his favorite AFC team is the Chiefs. He's always liked the Chiefs, way before Mahomes ever got
See,
there.
he's a Green Bay fan. He's a Chiefs fan. Everything about this fucking guy says I should hate him. Why do I like that guy?
I bet my best friend Brian Honecker, like he's like my little brother. Like and him and Bill, they're so much alike that when they hang out, it's like I'm like, why don't you two just find a room and go fuck each other? They're because again, both their all time favorite teams are the Packers fans, and they could just be so insufferable sometimes, man, with their fucking shit talking. And they both like the Chiefs too.
Ugh.
I went to a Chiefs game with Brian in Cincinnati against the Bengals because he's a Chiefs fan. His wife's a big Chiefs fan. Chiefs are his favorite AFC team, so they're
God, I
kind of
hope
like
the
his number
Bengals
two.
won.
They did. That's when
Yay.
the Bengals clinched the division. But Brian outed me as a Steeler fan,
Oh
right?
shit! In the stands?
Oh yeah.
Oh
But
Lord!
you know what? They were actually pretty cool, man, because I was cordial and respectful, man. I even told them, I said, hey, man, you guys are playing great football. Congratulations. And when they won the division, I shook their fucking hand. Congratulations on winning the AFC North. Now represent us. And that's why my heart is going to go with the Ravens because they're AFC North team. But I just think, man, that the football guys just love fucking Holmes and Reed, dude. I just think something will happen. They're gonna
Fuck
fucking pull it
Mahomo,
out.
but I'll give the
I'm
edge.
just telling you, dude.
I'll give the edge to Andy Reid. Coach Reid's a good coach. But fuck Mahomes.
And we all know what'll happen though if they lose. Patrick Mahomes, the guys are gonna wake up with dicks on their faces.
Well, good.
Now, if they win, it'll be fucking mustaches. Either way, though, he always tells Mahomes, "I'm gonna get to the bottom of this." I love that guy. He's got the
I
fucking
love
marker
that
in his
guy.
hand. Yeah, I love Coach Reid, man. And
Coach Reid's a great guy.
And I couldn't be happier for him, because dude,
He's had a great
the
career.
Philly
Of
fans
fucking
treated him like
garbage.
garbage, man. And they did the same thing to
Dude, everyone
McMahon.
talks shit about Dallas Cowboys fans, but I'm here to tell you
Oh,
the most classless fucking fan base in the
dude,
NFL is the
from what I
Philadelphia Eagles
understand,
fans.
and I don't know if this is true or not,
Dude, they
but
won
I
a
was
Super
told by
Bowl
a
and
friend,
rioted in their own
I
town.
I literally saw or heard that, and this dude told me, dude, it's there, that they're so rowdy that they literally have a courtroom and a jail in the stadium. Now, whether that's true or not, I really don't know.
In Philly?
Yes, I've heard that from more than one person. So I don't know if that's just a fucking.
I have heard so many bad things about.
I don't know if that's an urban legend. Any
Right.
Philly fans, if you can tell me I'm wrong, I just heard that.
People that have actually been to the games, not just people
Yeah,
that.
that's what. Yeah, people who are actually from Philly, again, and maybe not all of you are like that, but I would watch NFL Network, and
Sure
you know
you are.
how
I've seen the fucking Mark Wahlberg movie about the Philly guy. You guys are assholes.
and I was watching the game, and I would watch NFL Network, and
Great
how
movie, by the way. I was rooting for Mark Wahlberg the whole time.
totally, and they would they would cover all these different teams, and they just play these sound bites from all the local radio stations from whatever city. And when they would do Philly, man, it was all, I'm so tired of Andy Reid. I'm so tired of Don McNabb. Blah blah blah. They're only good enough to get the NFC Championship, and then they fucking blah. I mean, all they did was just, and they booed when McNabb got drafted. They booed the man. I'm like, Jesus, it's supposed to be his greatest day of his life, and you're booing him because they didn't get Ricky Williams or whatever. Okay, well, how'd that pan out?
Yeah. I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah. Ricky was
exactly.
a great running back when he wasn't getting stoned all the time. He got fucked his gig up in New Orleans.
Ricky Williams, the Rasta guy, Miami Dolphins. Yeah.
Well, he was drafted by the Saints originally, and then he went to Miami. But I'm like, dude, McNabb. I mean, he never won the big one, but he got there, man.
He
I mean,
got
the guy
there.
was a great fucking quarterback. I'll tell you what,
I liked McNabb. I started playing Madden with Donovan McNabb on the cover. Whatever year that was, that's when I started playing Madden, and I was playing on the computer. I was doing the keyboard thing like a gamer guy, like a real nerd that wasn't getting pussy. And I was like with my daughter's mother then, so I was.
So I guess what you're predicting, if our predictions hold true, you say Lions over Niners, Ravens over Chiefs. It's going to be Lions, Ravens Super Bowl?
That would be bomb. And then there's a meme going around. Where the fuck is my phone? There is a meme going. Where the fuck? See, you could tell Bushy's having a couple drinks. Here it is. Got my black phone. Oh, my girl texted me. I'll have to get back to her. There's a meme going around on Facebook right now. It says, if the Lions make the Super Bowl, Barry Sanders should be given a one-day contract and play one down to possibly earn a championship ring.
That would be fucking cool.
I do not fucking disagree, dude.
Oh, that would be fucking cool, man.
Even though people, they overlook this one fact about Barry Sanders, because I'm an Emmitt Smith guy, and everyone says, oh, Barry Sanders, he's better than Emmitt Smith. Barry Sanders holds another record that you can look up for the most negative yards in a career, because of how much he would juke and jive and run back around and turn about and come back around.
And no choice, dude. That O-line was atrocious.
I know it.
Terrible.
But what a great running back. I mean, he was no Bo Jackson, Kansas City Royals. Ugh. I'm sorry, Bo Jackson, that hip pointer, it looked like nothing. The way that fucking finished his football career is infuriating. He should have stayed with the Royals. They would have gone to the World Series again.
What a tragedy. Anyway,
at 55 years old.
Kidding.
At 55, is he 55? I think he's 55 years old. He's our age, Metal Mike. Let him run one play. And he's still a big guy. Let him run one. So he's on the record as having done something. Then they win the fucking Super Bowl and he gets the ring. I think it's well-deserved. It's an interesting meme that's going around on Facebook right now.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's gonna
I'm calling Detroit Ravens Super Bowl. It's probably going to be San Francisco and fucking Kansas City, but I'm going Detroit Ravens.
All right. The Lions and the Ravens. I'm going to go again, man. Maybe I'm being a pussy, but Niners and fucking Chiefs, man. Go Chiefs after that, because I don't want the fucking Niners tying the Steelers with a fucking Super Bowl ring. It's bad enough fucking New England did.
I didn't want you guys beating me, so fuck all of them.
Man,
All right, Metal Mike, this has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to
always.
catch up, do a little bit of talk about the week we missed, talk about the coming week. Anything else going on? I haven't been listening to much music, dude.
No,
Look, I have a bone of contention to pick with you.
oh my, what?
I was supposed to, on January 20th, the Plug podcast was supposed to sit in on the lesser known podcast, the Freeform Rock podcast, to do a metal church record.
I know.
And you bailed on me.
Didn't bail on you, dude. What ended up happening, if you'll let me explain.
No, I don't want an explanation.
Oh,
I had to do a Rat album.
so Rat Rules. Which album?
Invasion of Your Privacy.
Love that record.
Oh, well, you're not going to like my fucking review of that record. Spoiler alert.
Of course you don't like it. You don't like good glam metal. If it was fucking Warrant, though, you'd be sucking the dick of it. Or fucking White Lion or any of those other fucking bands.
It would depend on the album. It would depend on the album.
Your Privacy is a great record. What are you talking about, man?
Have you listened to it recently?
Yeah.
Like loud?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Mark Alden Taylor. It's not good.
You're high, dude.
There's like 2.5 good songs.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. I'll put that over Girls, Girls, Girls or Theater Pain any day of the fucking week. Why you got to get me riled up, dude? This from the guy who says The Elder's the second greatest Kiss album. Get the fuck out of here.
Maybe
Just
Theater of Pain. Definitely not Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah, fucking both those albums suck dick, man.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
Anyway, I got something interesting, and I couldn't help it. I was supposed to be on call this upcoming weekend, but because one of the nursing managers up and quit, it got bumped up to last week. So now I got to do the metal church this week.
Oh, so the Plug's not going to be on Freeform? You can't handle both of us at the same time.
No, we were supposed to. I mean, I was agreed to it. We were all going to do it. And then, you know, because of what happened, he had you do Rat's Invasion of Your Privacy, which is a far superior album than Theater of Pain and Girls, 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 and most of the fucking tripe that Motley Crue ever put out, besides Shout the Devil and Too Fast for Love. Okay, so anyway.
Now, Mark Berry's episodes, but I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. Mark spent a lot of time saying, okay, Bushy, why do you hate it?
I mean, look, all I can say is well, number one, sorry about you. And me and Mark don't usually agree. Sometimes we do though.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you need to listen to any Rat whatsoever other than Out of the Cellar and a Greatest Hits album?
Me? I'm a first. Well, I count the EP. So
Fuck
first
the EP. Nobody cares about that.
Dude, that fucking EP rules. What is wrong with you?
Well, because it's an EP. This is the first major.
Out of the Cellar is the greatest record they ever did.
Thank you. So you listen to Cellar and the Greatest Hits, and you're good.
No,
because Rat's not that good.
Too Fast for Love, or I mean, Out of the Cellar, and I like Dancing Undercover. I like a lot of the early Rat stuff.
Man,
I do.
Look, see, I was always a Greatest Hits Rat fan, except for Out of the Cellar. So now that I was forced to deep dive a record, look, I was at my girlfriend's house listening to this record with my headphones, and I got my baby's right there. We're sitting on her bed, and I got my computer in front of me. I got my headphones on, and her nephew's here talking because we're all having a good time, and Nevaeh's over here. We're all just hanging out, and I am fucking angry. I am fucking angry at what I'm listening to. because this is an album that has not aged well. Yeah, spoiler alert, Mark, I'm fucking up your podcast 5 weeks from now. What a shitty fucking record.
I mean, it's 80s glam metal, dude. I don't know. It has none of it's really aged well. If we're gonna get real
A
technical,
lot of it's
fucking
aged
subgenre.
well.
No, it has not.
Yes, it has.
No, it has not. Most of it has not aged well. I mean,
It's all aged well.
production is all fucking glossed over. It's
Really? He has fucking echoey vocals because he can't sing for shit.
I mean,
Lazy solos, lazy songwriting.
oh, come on. Warren
Oh
D.
my
Martini,
God.
even the thrash metal guys give him his due. Fucking stop, dude.
Oh, I cannot wait
And
to
they can
hear
play
that
circles
episode.
around Mick fucking Mars, okay? With this
Oh,
fucking whatever.
oh,
man.
Warren D. Martini.
Yeah.
Technicality, yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
will agree with
Play
you.
circles around. Get the fuck out.
I will agree with you. But guess what? Even Warren D. Martini cannot save this fucking album. There's 2 good songs. And guess what? They're the singles.
Oh,
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Buy Out of the Cellar.
You're a greatest
and
hits
get a
radio
rated
guy.
6.
I get it. You're a radio dude. I get it.
No, I can listen to a whole album and
You're a
find
radio
out there's
guy.
good shit.
No, you're a radio guy. So anyway, let's move it on.
I even liked your tranny fucking band. What was your tranny band you made me listen to?
Oh, Life of Agony.
Yeah.
I mean, because the singer transitioned
Yeah.
later. Wouldn't transition on that album. That's why that album rules. Anyway,
Right. It was a good album.
here's something that was kind of neat.
But Mark Taylor also thinks Faith No More fucking sucks. So
I love Faith No More. I don't love everything they ever did.
This guy, I'm like,
no, look, Mark's a guy. Sometimes Mark's weird because he'll like things where I'm like, huh? But then he loves, okay, like for instance, he's a big fan of Operation Mindcrime. Love that record. Think it's an absolute bad. I think, see, that's something we all agree on.
Yeah, masterpiece.
But when you listen to his podcast, man, I mean, Charles Trainer and I forget who else was almost like kind of shitting on it or, poo-pooing it. And I'm like, fucking album.
Mindcrime?
Yes.
Who in the metal community was shit on Mindcrime?
Well, Charles Trainer was one of them.
Well, I'll call that fucker up right now.
Yeah, he didn't like it. Well, I mean, he didn't hate it, but he was like, well, the story's kind of confusing. He was trying to tell me and us, and I love The Wall, by the way. It's my favorite Pink Floyd album, that The Wall is easier to follow than Operation Mindcrime. And Charles, I love you, dude, but whatever you're drinking, you need to stop, dude. That is not true. I'm sorry. I think The Wall, I love The Wall, but just listening to The Wall.
Sonically, one of the greatest albums ever.
Oh, by far. And I've always said, I remember when Operation Mindcrime came out, and I think it was Kerrang, or it was one of the metal magazines, flat out said, this is the Wall of the 80s. That basically said that Operation Mindcrime was the Wall of the 80s. And I agree. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. I think it's the greatest thing Queensryche ever
come
did.
on. 1975, Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Now, one thing I do agree with you about, Rat, Out of the Cellar, they're by far their best.
Because front to back, there's not a clunker on Out of the Cellar.
But I do like Invasion of Your Privacy and even Dancing Undercover. There's some good tunes on those albums.
Yeah, see, I'm a greatest hits guy after Out of the Cellar.
All right, that's cool, dude. I mean, I take your opinion with a grain of salt, because after all, The Elder's your second favorite Kiss album. So, it's like,
well, one day you will come to understand the brilliance that
I will
is the
never understand.
Take the Kiss name off of that fucking album and you'll like it.
And dude, it's a shitty record.
No, it's a great record.
It's not that good.
Even Ace Frehley said, you know what? It's a pretty good album.
Ace is getting addled. He's old. He doesn't know any better. I mean, he's been talking out.
You're right. Because he actually said he's a better vocalist than Paul Stanley, which is fucking hilarious.
Well, maybe now he is, because Paul has no voice. But again,
I would still take Crooked Paul over Ace.
I love Ace Frehley.
Well, so do I.
I love him. But he's another one that needs to shut up, though.
Yes.
Enough, dude. Like, I am so sick. Like, if I was to ever
can't Kiss just be Peter Criss?
Dude, here's my thing.
Like Pete is just like, hey man, it's cool.
I mean, these people that are interviewing Ace, I would not even ask him any questions about Kiss. I wouldn't ask him about the avatars. I'd be like, Ace, I just want to hear all about what you're doing right now with this new record. How you doing? You know, and if I did ask him any questions about Kiss, it'd be more like, well, you know, how did you come up with that solo for what's and such on this album? I
Yeah.
would not fucking want him to
And
mention
did you
Paul,
actually play it, or was
Gene,
it a ghostwriter?
you know, and you know, and fuck you. And no, you know, no, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Because now we're like, after those first 3 albums, what was really Ace?
Dude, he's on almost all. The only albums he didn't play on was one goddamn guitar solo for fuck. I think he didn't play acoustic guitar on Beth. Ooh, who gives a fuck there?
Right.
Oh, and then the Sweet Pain, and that's
Such
it. And then,
Destroyer. Destroyer is such an overrated Kiss album. I'm sorry.
but he's all on Rock and Roll Over. He's all over Love Gun.
Great album.
Now,
Great album.
so I get and you know what, Gene Simmons. Guess what? You know how many fucking Kiss songs that Gene don't play a note on?
Yes.
But nobody says anything about that. Gene will blast Ace for this shit. But I'm like, dude, you didn't play bass on, especially after 1978. Let's be honest. Like, fucking Ace is playing the Ace songs on fucking Unmasked and fucking Dynasty. Paul's pretty much playing the Paul songs, and Gene's playing his songs. Now, Ace did play guitar on both the Gene songs. So Gene, again, but all of them, just shut up. Just stop already. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. It's like, dude, it's getting to the point now where before, when I would see something on Ace, I'd click on it, see what's going on. I just roll my eyes and scroll on by because I don't care anymore. I don't care. Like, I'm just like, just stop already. You know, who cares? Like, fuck, I don't care. Go away almost. That's how I feel about Kiss.
Look, let me let you in a little secret. I was destroyed to hear that, okay, Gene didn't play bass on this track, or Pete didn't play drums on this track, or fucking
Sure,
Ace
it
didn't
bothered
play
me.
guitar on this. Dude, it bothers me so much. But at the same time, sorry, Dr. Fuck, I'm a Kiss tard. I love Kiss music. Whoever was doing it did a good fucking job,
Right.
which
Well, yeah, because there was the Alive,
contradicts my
the recorded
dislike
tracks
of the
on Alive
scab.
too. The recorded tracks on Alive too. Ace only plays, and he pretty much plays everything on Rocket Ride. It's all Ace
Right.
except for the drums. That's Peter.
Yeah.
Gene had Bruce Kulick or Bob Kulick do
Bob.
his songs, and I think he did Paul's songs, and Bob did a good job.
Yeah.
He did. I'll give him credit for that. But
Man, how do we always
I mean, that's
get
like
into
how
the
many
Kiss
fucking
vortex?
songs? That's, I don't know.
Because
Well,
we're fucking Kiss nerds, dude.
there's that, and the fact that, you know, because I threw the elder in your face, so it's my fault.
Yes.
Should have shut up.
Which is a great album. It's a great album.
And even if it is, I mean, even Baco, who loves that record, by the way,
I
thinks
don't
you're
give a
high. That's
fuck
your
about
number two.
Baco.
He literally said that because you tried to go, man, no, Mike gave me shit because I made my number two. And he went, you're number two. I remember he fucking was like, what? Like,
couldn't believe it.
He likes that record. Like,
Couldn't
he
believe
actually
it.
defends that shit. You know, but even he thinks number two.
He could not believe it.
Over I don't know how many other amazing albums.
Yes.
Get the fuck out. You're just.
And I still stand by it. I still stand
by it because you
right
dare
now.
to be different.
The Kiss debut, 1974, because it's the greatest recorded Kiss album of all time with the shittiest production. And yeah,
I'm sorry, dude. I'll take Hotter Than Hell, Dress to Kill, fucking Rock and Roll Over, Destroyer, even over fucking, you know, The Elder, the fucking Elder.
Destroyer is such a divisive.
I'm not saying it's not overrated.
No, I'm not going to say it's overrated. I'm going to say it's a divisive album for me.
You should love it.
The songs that I like on Destroyer are not hits. You know, like fuck Beth. But I love what's the other ballad there? You sit in your seat and you stand and clutch your breast.
Great Expectations.
Great Expectations. What a great fucking song. Detroit Rock City. What a fucking
Great
banger.
open.
Flaming Youth.
King of the Nighttime World, dude.
Oh man,
There's some
good
great
stuff.
songs on that album.
Beth kills me. I hate Beth.
I don't.
Like I think the greatest recorded version of Beth is the fucking smashes, thrashes, and hits version with fucking Eric Carr.
No, I disagree. I think the greatest version of Beth is the unplugged version on Unplugged.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
They're actually playing instruments and they're singing, and I love Eric Carr, but get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. So anyway, I got these CDs now. When I went to see Metallica, I went on their website, and a lot of bands do this. These are both the concerts that me and Bill attended.
Oh, nice.
St. Louis, Missouri, November 3rd, 2023, and then November 5th, 2023. Really fucking cool. Plan on playing them when I do get back on the air eventually.
That's badass. Hey, send that to me because I got to hear if they're any good anymore.
It's pretty cool, dude.
I've never seen Metallica live, and I'm not a Metallica hater.
I know you're not.
I'm just a bigger Megadeth fan.
Well, okay, here was the playlist.
First 4 or 5 albums are fucking awesome.
Yeah, here's the playlist, man. And there's a few things where I'm like, but right off the bat, man, November 3rd, they opened with Creeping Death.
Nice.
Harvester of Sorrow.
Oh.
Holier Than Thou, one of the better songs off the Black album.
The Black Album, yep.
The Memory Remains,
I like that.
Lux Eterna. Too Far Gone. Yeah. They also did original, Kirk and Robert did original, whatever, because when they do these tours now, they spend the whole week there. So they only do one show a week, and they write instrumentals together. So they their first one was Cthulhu Burrito.
But they did call Cthulhu in the fucking Rod Lightning album.
Cthulhu Burrito. It's a joke. It's an instrumental.
Right, because Robert Trujillo is either native or Mexican.
Well, so is Kirk. He's got Hispanic in him too.
Okay.
AKA Chili Relino is also his name. Then they did Fade to Black, Shadows Fall.
My all-time favorite fucking Metallica song.
Nothing Else Matters. Sad but true.
It.
Yeah, it was. The Day That Never Comes, Hardwired, Fuel. Not a big fan of that song, but I have to say the live presentation was pretty fucking cool, man.
But that's Reload and Fuel's a good song.
Reload's
the better of those two things.
Seek and Destroy and Master of Puppets. That was the first night. Second night, which was November 5th, Whiplash. They opened with fucking Whiplash.
Shit.
Then For Whom the Bell Tolls. Damn. Then Ride the Lightning. Then King Nothing, which is Enter Sandman 2.
I don't care. I love King Nothing. It's great song.
72 Seasons. If
Good
Dark
song.
Sun. St. Louis Freeze is the other instrumental they did, which was pretty funny. Welcome Home Sanitarium. You Must Burn. The Call of Cthulhu. No Leaf Clover. Wherever I May Roam. Mothed into Flame. Blackened, Whiskey in the Jar, One, and Enter Sandman.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta rip that and send it to me, dude. I
already ripped it.
That's quality. That's quality.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
There's a couple songs in there. I'm like, ugh.
But overall, it was, and man, even the songs that I'm not a big fan of, they were so much better live because Metallica, like most really metal bands, are heavier live than they are in the studio. So it was like, I kind of like this version of the song.
Yeah.
Like, even though I'm not a big fan of that song. So, and I mean, they put on a great show, man. I mean, now, was it as great as when I saw him on the Justice for All tour with Queensryche opening on Operation Mindcrime? No, that was a fucking, but that's when they were younger. Yeah. I mean, again, it's kind of like what I said about, and I just got done listening to that episode where I was saying, anybody who expects a legacy act to put out new material if you get a decent album, you're coming out ahead. Like I think sometimes us fans, especially as longtime fans, we still expect them to be here. And when you have a band that's had the success of a Metallica or Megadeth or any of those guys, the Stones, the Beatles, I don't care who you are. I mean, the reason why the Beatles broke up, guys, if the Beatles had kept going on, They might have lost their mojo. I mean, we'll never know, you know. We'll never know. And the Stones, man, I
If
mean,
now
overall,
and then is indicative of anything, they
I don't
definitely
think it
would have.
really is, though, because let's be honest, those three Beatles songs were John Lennon songs that he was working on. I don't know if they would have ever become Beatles songs if they
Look,
had
I
done it.
almost bought the Blue Beatles fucking greatest hits
You
record,
should. It's a great album.
but it's the remastered, the rebooted thing, and it had now and then on it.
Oh,
Can't bring myself
what
to fucking
oh,
spend my money on it.
well, you know, I
Oh
think
my
I have
God,
it
it's such a
digitally.
great song, even though
I mean,
they're going to make
you
a
know what? I'll tell
record,
you what, bro.
but
Yeah.
it came out fucking 50 years later.
Whatever,
Too.
hater of
It's a fucking
invasion of your
great song.
privacy. What the fuck ever, man.
I'll take
Look,
angry over that shit all day long and twice on Sunday.
look, bro. I'm not saying you're totally wrong. All I'm saying
And I
is,
remember those records. Remember, my favorite Beatles song is fucking stupid.
I know it
It's
is.
stupid.
I agree. I like that song, but it is stupid.
Dumb. I don't even know what he's talking about. What is Ringo talking about?
He don't know what he's talking about. He's probably tripping on acid when
The
he wrote
fuck
that
is an
motherfucker.
octopus's garden? I don't
I
know.
don't know. Ask
But I
him.
remember liking that Blue Beatles album. My dad had them both, the double fucking record,
Yeah,
the red and the blue.
it's a
I
greatest
love the
hits.
red one. I love the red one
Yeah, you
because
like
that's
their
all
early
that.
shit.
Yeah, that poppy. I want to hold your hand. Help! I need somebody. That good fun rock and roll. And then they started experimenting with drugs. And I don't care about your yellow submarines, but they have some
But you
good
care
songs.
about it, Octopus's Garden? Okay.
Dude, let me explain this. And this could be a childhood thing. This could be why I like this song so much. When we were living in Heidelberg, Germany, the big thing was babies drowning in tubs.
Ah,
That's what was going on. And how you could drown in a teaspoon of water, which, by the way, I'm sorry, I've been in a medical field for a long time. That's fucking impossible.
yeah.
But they were showing babies floating around in the water, swimming. It was, I'd like to be under the sea.
Really?
Was this guard? Infants before CGI. So I don't know how they did this, but babies swimming in water. And that song was playing. I love that fucking song. It's fucking stupid. Ringo, I've seen the movies. He's probably the funniest Beatle.
Oh, by far.
But I'm like, I love that song. The Sergeant Pepper's album, everyone thinks so great. I'm like, you're fucking wrong. It's garbage. It's much like the Stones Satanic Majesty's Request. It's fucking garbage. One good song on Satanic Majesty's Request, maybe a good song on Sergeant Pepper's, and that's a title track.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the show with Mr. Hot Take here. Well, I'll agree with you on Her Majesty's Satanic's Request. And that's not a very good
Garbage fucking record.
It's not. And I love the Stones. Pains
But
me to
She's
say
Like a Rainbow is a good song.
I love that song.
Good
That's
song.
about it, dude.
And
I
that's
will
it.
agree with you
That's
on
it on that whole fucking album. I mean,
Can't
come on,
go there with you.
2000 Man's on that record, and boy, that's bad.
Yeah, Ace actually improved that song.
Oh, a lot. And
Yeah.
Ace doesn't improve much.
Shut your fucking whore mouth. Ace was like, I'm going to take this shitty song and rock it out because I'm Ace fucking Frehley. And most of my covers are better than the original. Yeah, I said it. Okay, can we move on now?
Don't disagree. Don't disagree. Yeah, let's move on. So next week, the Ravens win, the Detroit Lions win. You said Kansas City
Niners and
wins.
Chiefs. Yeah.
Niners and Chiefs. Yeah, okay.
And I'm not thrilled about it, but I'm being pathetically objective.
Ooh, that's so different.
I know. Anyway, man,
I'm really hoping I could talk shit to Mark Taylor next week.
I'm going to sign off here, brother. It's been a blast.
Hell yeah.
Y'all keep fighting the good fight and stay metal till your dying breath. And any of your teams that are still in it, good luck to you. And we will talk next week and pick our Super Bowl winner.
Hell yeah. Buy vinyl. We'll definitely see you next week. I'm trying to find the fucking stop button.
Elder sucks.
Oh, golly.